My name is Ignatius, and I'm going to briefly go over how to create races in the Morrowind engine. Um, so you have here, I've put together here in Blender all the different pieces. If you're a Morrowind player, then you know about how the armor and clothing is segmented. You have numerous different pieces that you can mix and match, and that's because of all these different segmented body parts that the characters are made out of. Now there's actually more parts that are segmented than what you can wear. This is the same for when you make armor and clothing in the construction set as well, but you have your head, your neck, then you have your skin. Now your skin is going to contain both your chest and your hands. These hands are actually for third person view. They're not for first person. You'll actually have a separate mesh for your first person hands. You have to have both or the game will crash. And we'll go over that once we get to the construction set. So you have your head, your neck, your chest, which is part of your skin, your hands, which is part of your skin in third person, and then the first person mesh, your upper arm, your wrist, um, your groin, upper leg, your knee, ankle, and your foot. Now, you don't have to have two of all of these, okay, for it to work. You just need to have the one, and the engine is going to understand that they have two upper legs and two knees and two ankles and 2 feet. Um, you can simply import these meshes from the Morrowind BSA and retexture them to create a new race to make it simplified. When doing heads, you have animations, you have shape keys um, that are going to affect your model here. I'm not going to go over all that. Um, I'm trying. I don't have too much time today, but I just want to go over briefly. If you have the meshes, or if you just want to retexture and add these body parts to create a new race, it is very simple to do, um, as long as you know how it's done. So these are all the different body parts that make up our characters, our NPCs in the Morrowind engine. So if we go to the construction set, we can go. Let's get in center over here so we can see. And then we are going to create a new race. In this case, we're going to make a Bothans. Okay, so we'll Bothans. So we're going to create a new NPC. Oh, no, we're not, because it's going to be invisible. Let's go to our body parts. The first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make a head for this NPC. So SW Bothan head. Okay. The part, you need to make sure you put your part. Um, and then there are actually a couple more here. There's a clavicle, that's for your pauldrons. And then there is forearm. I guess I didn't include that one in the Blender one, but there is a forearm. Hair is separate from your head, so if you have like an open-faced helmet, then it's going to be a hair. If you have a closed-face helmet, it's going to replace your head. And then your ears are usually a part of your hair as well. Um, the tail is going to be for beast races like Khajiit and Argonians from Morrowind. Your standard humanoid NPCs aren't going to have the option to have a tail. Um, so we have our new ID. Part's going to be the head. This is going to be a skin. It's not clothing. It's not armor. This is part of our actual NPC's body. Female and playable. If you don't check playable, then the character is not, or the player is not going to be able to make a character with this race. You do have to select female if you for the female side, and you do have to create new body parts for that as well. Both, uh, in Blender if you want a different female body, or in the construction set as well. Our race we're going to check is going to be SW Bothans. And then we're going to add an art file. That art file is going to be, well, I may have actually deleted that file already. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make these Bothans Flesh Raiders. So let's create a new NPC. SW Bothan Flesh Raider. Okay. And we have the one head available. So let's go ahead and make it, and then let's throw him in here. So right now he's just a head. That's all he is this sad little head. Okay, and as we create the other body parts, then we are going to be able to update this little guy. So let's create the next one. So we're just going to copy this guy, double click it. No, we're still in the NPCs, I'm sorry. Go back to body parts, SW. So this is going to be the Bothan or Flesh Raider groin. We actually don't have the Bothan stuff, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and use the Ithorian models from Starwind. So we need to go to egg, body parts. So this is going to be the groin. Okay, and we need to make sure that we change the part to groin. You cannot have two of the same body part. The construction set will freak out if you do this. It will continue to throw errors, so you do have to delete one of them if you create two different body parts or change the body part to a different one. The only exception is heads and hairs. So as you can see now, I just cut and then Control X, Control Z, cut and then redo. And now you can see that our Flesh Raider here, that was supposed to be a Bothan, now has a groin. So let's go ahead and add the rest of them. So we're going to add, let's do all the feet, lower body stuff. So let's do feet. It's going to be a foot. Now let's do the upper leg, and then you'll see the ankle in there missing in between. So body parts, ankle. Oh, you see that? That's the error that I was talking about. So anytime I try to do anything now, it's going to freak out and tell me that there's two body parts for foot for this race. So the part here, the body, we do need to change to upper leg. I think we forgot to change this as well. So ig, body parts, Ithorian, upper leg. There you go. Okay, so we're now missing the knee and the ankle. So let's go ahead and add those. Bothan ankle. Ankle. Parts. I thought we already added the ankle. I guess not. And you can see it coming together now. We just need the knee. Now in Blender, if you're doing it the vanilla way for the Morrowind engine, then you know, in the actual 3D modeling software you're using, you have your chest and your third person hands skinned on the same mesh. But when we're in here, we're actually going to create two separate IDs for that. So we'll actually do the Bothan chest, and that's going to be one piece, but we're going to use for the hands and for the chest, we're going to use the same mesh. So we'll go to Thorian skin. So Thorian skin is going to be our chest and our hands. So we'll do that now. Actually, we will go and we'll do the hands next. So we're still using the Thorian skin. Uh, it's going to be hands. But as you see, it will recognize that it is the hands from that mesh. So let's go ahead now and finish off the top. So our Thorian does not have a neck. So if you look at, or not a Thorian, our Flesh Raider. So if you look at this guy, um, the chest and the head are there, and the head is floating because we don't have a neck. So let's give this guy a neck. Where is our neck? Does he not have a neck? Yeah. I guess the Athorians don't have necks because they have gigantic um, hammerheads. Well, that's okay. We'll just give him any neck for right now. So at least he has one. There you go. So we need the upper arm. And then we need the forearm. Let's see. There we go. And now we need the wrist. Okay. So there you go. Now when you create a Flesh Raider, you're going to have, you know, this guy with the new head and everything. We can actually come in here and we have several heads for this guy, as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and let's look at that. So let's add in our other heads. This is going to be now these guys don't have any hairs, so I can't show you the hairs, but it's the exact same process. Oh, we're in the wrong place. So we could actually duplicate this guy, give them new IDs so that they are completely separate entities. And then we can give them the different heads. And now you have a race with some options. So this is playable, right? So you'll actually be able to log in, create the race, and cycle through the different heads. All you have to do now is go back to your race. In this case, we named them Bothans, but we didn't have the files. Um, I had made those files last night, but I sent them to someone, so I ended up deleting them. Here you can change your base attributes for your male and your female, your weight and your height. Um, make sure to mark it as playable. This is not going to be a beast race. If you have a beast race, or if you mark it as beast race, you need to make sure that the skin is actually rigged for a beast race. Those are two different skins. Um, Otherwise, you're going to run into a bunch of problems. You can add in all your skill bonuses here, like maybe Flesh Raiders are super fast, so we're going to give them a bunch of athletics. And maybe they are one with the dark side, so we'll give them 15 points of dark side powers. You can even go into your spells, and you can give them racial spells, create your own, whatever. Um, and then look, this guy resists frost 75, and he just has these spells. Okay, so that's how you edit these statistics for your race and give them racial abilities and racial powers, things like that. Um, I'm not going to go over spell making and all that. I assume you've watched the other two videos um, on my channel if you're watching this one. But yeah, I mean it's really that easy, you know. Other than the possible need for 3D modeling and the knowledge of using Blender, then you would need to, you know, make your custom assets to create the race. But this is how you implement them into the construction set. And as always, anyone who is wanting to make a Starwind mod, if you want to make your own race, um, if you ask me, I'll make the 3D models for you for your race, all the body part meshes, and then I can send them to you, and then you can implement them and upload your own mod with the race that you're wanting. You'll just have to implement them yourself into the construction set, and this is exactly how you do that. Thank you.